Such a weird team.
Jalen Hurts throws, he threw for 0 yards. 0. Now, the good news
in the
is,
second half.
Yeah, second half. The Eagles also have 0 losses. So that's good. Here's Jalen.
I think we were in a good place at 2-2 last year. We had a lot of opportunity in front of us. I think we're in a good place now. You guys may look at the record and say, well, you know, be a hound for negativity in some regard, but, you know, regardless of where you are, when you're this early in the season, you're still searching to try and elevate and play to a standard of execution. And so, great opportunity in front of us as a team to continue to build, continue to grow.
I kind of love that. Meanwhile, A.J. Brown is tweeting the scripture, bro. If you're not welcome, not listened to, quietly withdraw. Don't make a scene. Shrug your shoulders and be on the way. Now, can't make fun of him. He's quoting the Bible, so everyone tread carefully.
I'm glad to see he's in his word. That's a little out of context.
Okay.
That was when Jesus sent the disciples out to preach the gospel. He wasn't
talking
about sports or targets or whatever. What's the question?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Fair to be worried about the 4-0 Eagles.
Yes. Honestly, I'm going to say no. Like, why? They're 4-0. Their last 3 wins have been against Super Bowl contenders. And I get they should have a standard and look at their game and say, we got to improve, we got to improve. Mm-hmm. But as far as A.J. Brown, I'm either ignoring him. He had 9 targets yesterday.
I know, but they're fake. When you look, they're like
some of them he wasn't open. Some of them he wasn't open.
Like,
they tried to force it to him. Yeah. But he got some targets. And here's my thing, Coach. As hard as it is to win games in the NFL, I don't think you can get into style points and things like that. Now, again, you need to look and say, look, guys, we really aren't playing well. Fortunately, we've been winning, but let's improve this. Let's execute this better. But I think 2 years ago when they fell into the supernatural funk, it was because they bought into, well, yeah, we're 10-1, but the wins have been ugly. They've been too close. We haven't played well. And eventually that caught up to them. Okay. The Chiefs last year, I mean, they knew they needed to play better, but they weren't buying. I don't remember a ton of press conferences.
No,
yeah, they're like,
yeah,
we're not playing well. Yeah. It's so tough to win that if you keep winning, you should be happy with that, even as you continue to work on your weaknesses.
Coach, can I show you this graphic that speaks to Brew? This century. Josh, I love when you do this century stuff. It makes it feel very long. 4-0 with each win by 1 score. Like you said, Brew, is last year's Chiefs lost the Super Bowl. The Jets lost the divisional round, and the Vikings lost the NFC Conference Championship. So, I don't know. This bodes well, although everything is ugly.
I don't know that I agree that bodes well.
You don't think so? Why? Because of the Jets?
No, because the Eagles want to get back to the Super Bowl. What that shows is that it's rare and only one of the teams that did it got to the Super Bowl.
Yeah,
I don't think it bodes terribly, but I don't think
it bodes well. I like that missed Super Bowl.
Okay, yeah.
Or missed playoffs I get nervous about.
Look, nothing says go away quietly like posting on X.
Right.
Let me quote the Bible and talk about going away quietly, but make sure that everybody knows that I'm going away quietly. There's nothing quiet about that. So here's where my concern is. Last year, when the book came out, remember, and they did that great piece on how he used the book on the sideline for motivation. It was such a good piece, really insightful. I got that bookmarked at home. So that happened during the playoffs. So that was a long, long time into the season. Now we're week 4, and we're already at the quotes and the discontent. And to me, if they give into this, that's going to create the problem. If they start feeding this complaining, that's going to create the problem. Would everybody in Philly be happier if they lost a game, but A.J. Brown had 15 catches? Like, A.J. would be happy, but would anybody else be happy?
So we can't, hold on.
Go ahead.
Are you going to go away quietly?
No. I'm going to answer your question about would everybody else be happy, and the answer is maybe. So here's the thing. First of all, because what's going on in Philadelphia right now, this isn't concern trolling. This is historically unprecedented. Like Jalen Hurts just had a game that we haven't seen since Jake Delhomme, where you threw that much in the second half, you don't complete a pass. If we show you their first half, second half this week, Dust, what you see is that should be impossible. And then when you realize that it's back-to-back games like this, just in reverse order.
Yes.
Like Eagles, play a normal game challenge. Impossible. Like first, so that is, so here is.
And they hung 30 out.
No. So here is where I will today, because I complimented the Eagles last week. Wilds didn't take it as this when I said they're the new Chiefs. As far as even when you win, you get nitpicked, the close, whatever. Take a page out of the Chiefs 2 years ago when they were the defending champions playbook and practice. Use part of the games as practice, even if maybe it costs you a game. But work on this stuff not just to satiate A.J. Brown, but also to get better at it. Like,
how about though we work? So, I think that's smart, but let's work on that against some of the lesser teams, not Tampa Bay.
In practice.
Because that doesn't make A.J. Brown happy, and I understand it should. Coach, listen, I understand this is not the platonic ideal for a wide receiver to help you go win a Super Bowl, but it's the wide receiver you got, and he's one of the greatest in the history of your franchise as far as the all-pros, the prolificness, all of it. And if you are trying to get through another 15, 17 games together, you need to do it. And that Chiefs team that you guys gave me a hard time on, that I said was practicing, was the one that lost games in the middle of the year, that did have to go on the road. And then in the playoffs, knew everything they could do and play every different type of way that they needed to play. If you're Philly, because they are a great team, and so, like, I still have some concerns about the defense, but DeJean keeps getting better and better. Like so you have a little regular season wiggle room, and what you can't, in my opinion, afford is the Week 7 Jay Glazer Fox NFL Sunday report of A.J. Brown is requesting a trade.
To where?
Maybe back to Tennessee.
No, not back to Tennessee. To his old coach.
He
wants to
exactly where he wants him to go.
But like, do you understand?
No, I agree. That's to me like Coach. I was gonna say he was doing this last year and they won the Super Bowl. Yes. To me, where it becomes really problematic is if he does request a trade. That's when it really becomes a fact.
But there's all sorts of, I don't know if you're up on the Eagles cap situation, but I thought it was like very punitive to trade A.J. Brown.
I bet it is. Oh, okay. I don't think A.J. Brown is that concerned about how punitive it would be for Howie Roseman. I'm not even saying they necessarily would trade him. I'm saying once a player requests a trade.
So do you think mid-season, if they're undefeated, that A.J. Brown would say, I would rather go to a team that's probably not going to make the playoffs, but I'm going to get that many more catches?
He told us that.
He tweeted
Coach, he literally 3 days after the Super Bowl put on Instagram, I'm paraphrasing, I didn't ask the producers to pull it, and I'm not unfairly paraphrasing. I thought winning a Super Bowl would make me happy. Turns out I was wrong. What makes me happy is seeing a D-back demoralized from me crushing him. Yeah. Like, it was, he told us what makes him go, and he is trying to. And this is where I give A.J. Brown, I try to give him
Dallas.
grace.
They've got extra first-round draft picks. He said they're willing to do something big.
He's trying, he's right now he's trying to be a good teammate. Honestly, he's like,
out of all the Bible verses,
I'm not I'm not throwing a tantrum. I'm not mouthing off to reporters, but he's that frustrated. And they're undefeated. That's the other thing. How does this work out if Baker doesn't throw that pick? You know what I mean? If one of these games had they lost, like, is the only reason it's not a real tipping point is because, yes, we're winning. Like, they're not going to go undefeated.
Last year when they threw all those passes, we didn't have to debate, what it would be like if they were undefeated, because they weren't. They were 2-2. Yeah. It didn't work out that way.
More on the Eagles shortly. We've got to get to Bruce's grade here. Cowboys-Packers ends in a tie. Dak has 4 total touchdowns, 319 yards. George Pickens has the best day as a Cowboy. Here's Dak postgame.
Trying to wrap my head around a tie. 1 second left on the clock. Felt funny. It was a great game, great competition. That's why you got to love Sundays. Great job by them. Great job by us competing. Wish we would have came out to win.
Brew is just quietly underneath Dak's soundbite trying to figure out what previous grades he had given.
Just trying to calculate their GPA on the fly.
Well, yeah, I think I gave him a C+ for the loss to the Eagles.
You definitely gave him a B early in the year.
For a week, I gave him a B.
You gave him a B in one of their against the Giants.
I gave him a B in the Eagles, and then I gave him a C in the loss, in the lower loss. So I grade the Cowboys on a curve.
Oh,
all right.
Yeah.
There was Coach. Everyone thought maybe except you, because I know Schottenheimer's your boy, but everybody else thought they were going to get clobbered.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Micah's coming in there. You don't have CeeDee Lamb. I mean, I thought it was going to be over, especially with the way the Packers started. Going up 13-0, Jordan Love throws the bomb. The Cowboys showed some heart. They showed some fight. They showed some toughness. Dak was phenomenal.
Yeah.
My man Javonte Williams was great. The running game
your
is
guy
back.
George Pickens.
George Pickens did his thing. He dropped some easy. He dropped another easy one, but he was fantastic. And look, the defense came up with the big fumble recovery, and then the special teams.
Yeah.
So you got all three. The defense wasn't great, but they did force the fumble. That's all I'm saying on Jordan Love. And then the special teams points. So I gave them. It's a tie.
Yeah.
But I gave them an A-.
Wow.
The minus is for, I can't give you an A in a tie, anything but a win. But I thought they were strong.
Wow.
When's the last time they got an A?
This might be the first.
I feel like this is.
This might be a first.
Yeah.
But I respect to the Cowboys for what they did yesterday.
Yeah, I agree with you 100%. You go into that game, and I know Green Bay had hopes of going undefeated that were dashed last week against the Browns. That was unfortunate. And then, I mean, they had Micah Parsons.
Well, he did save the game.
No, he did. I mean, that sack that he had chasing Dak down the back.
It saved the game, Coach.
That was worth being the highest paid non-quarterback.
Well, it was worth. It was
just that.
It's
alone.
why they didn't lose the game.
No, I mean, 40 points. I mean, look, the Micah factor.
Yes,
they're right there.
Dak was going to run for a touchdown. No, what they would have had is 44 and won the game.
And with CeeDee Lamb didn't. All right, so they didn't have their best receiver. Their best player was in Green Bay because he got traded there. And I am so impressed with Dak, and I feel like I've been hard on Dak in the sense that I think he's been a good quarterback, but never saw him as being the highest paid quarterback and being that elite sort of force multiplier. But it's hard to argue that what he's done this season hasn't been elite and hasn't been a force multiplier. And he has put them on their back and willed them to levels that I didn't think they were going to be able to show this early on, especially with the struggles that they've had defensively. But he's been really, really impressive.
Yeah, if they had one difference-making defensive player, they'd be 3-1.
Yeah, I mean,
listen, Coach.
Or what's Green Bay 2-1-1?
Green Bay's 2-1-1.
So
One of those games, they allowed essentially 3 points on defense. Like I was surprised that Dallas was able to keep it close because I was surprised that they were able to move the ball the way they were without CeeDee Lamb. And while I disagree wholeheartedly with basically everything Coach has said about Micah, I agree with him wholeheartedly about. I think, and I know Brew, you mentioned the other day about like Dak's numbers hadn't been great this year.